Come on! Ah! Oi! Oh! That's the last place you can die. Hey, my name's Jared, and I've always wanted to be an extreme demon. Problem is, I suck. Let's see how it goes. Little bit of backstory. I have been playing this game on and off since year 8 in high school, which was 2014. It's what, 12 years ago? Wait, hang on. No, that can't be. I'm 24 now. Scary how that happens. Don't judge my GD name, and let's move on. I jumped through Electrodynamics, and it took me like 3 months because of this ship out of all things. Anyway, I played on mobile up until like 2021. I managed to beat all the Rob Top levels, and even some hard demons, like Ultra Drivers, 9 Circles, Future Funk, and Double Dash, before Hard Demon was a verifiable difficulty. I also got some decent progress on harder levels, like Windy Landscape, Drawbreaker, and I spent well over 10k attempts on a level we'll be talking about a little bit later on. Since then, I've been playing on PC with my 165Hz monitor, though I was still playing on 60Hz for a long time. Please, if you have anything over 60Hz, check your display setting. You will thank me later. I beat and rebeat some medium and hard demons like the Ants Massacre, Psychosis, Future Funk again, Beru, Verity. This all peaked with my first Insane Demon completion, Windy Landscape, a feat I was very chuffed with. Again though, I need to preface, I play very sporadically, so what's changed? I went through a bit of a phase recently, and while since modding the game for quality of life features, I stuck around enough to seriously get this objective off my gaming catalogue. Real quick, I want to say this video is very much inspired off this one, so go check it out after this. So, where to start? I don't want to jump into an extreme right away and bang my head against a wall continuously. I need to get way better first. I set my sights on an Insane Demon, the second hardest difficulty in the game. Firewall, a level by
Certified Pedophile.
Firewall is a pretty consistently difficult level. The pre-drop is real hard with this ball, and especially the slow cube, which is the hardest part. The drop throws you straight into hard wave and timing sections, and the end is incredibly nerve-wracking. I couldn't even beat it, so I dropped it. Even now as of writing this, I still haven't beaten Firewall with like 4.5 attempts invested. Well, that's what I would have said about 30 minutes ago, but after trying to get some footage, I fluked it. I literally haven't played this level in months, and I fluked it. So random.
Oh, they're alive! I'm running. I'm going back.
Oh,
Shit. The law got brung
Wait,
on my...
wait, where are you? I thought you were on 8.
Holy shit. Oh my fucking god.
They're in the middle of somewhere.
What?
Whoops.
What am I doing? Oh my god. Oh, holy shit. I just fluked. Holy shit, I just fluked Firewall.
God.
Anyways, through practicing all the tight gameplay and playing from zero, this heavily put me back into both the physical and mental space that this $4 game requires. I still have to make a stand though. I feel like I'm playing my peak, but I got nothing to show for it. I needed to go for a new hardest, and the choice was easy. I was gonna be... Supersonic is a bucket list level for me. It's the first of a 4-part series. It's pretty old, built back in 1.9, and is super iconic. Let's break it down. Straight away, a few parts stood out. The balancing in Supersonic is not good, with some parts of the level being chill and some being completely cracked. For instance, the first 25% or so is free up until these ball clicks in this way. After that, the ship and cube is again free up until the drop. The drop's a little awkward, specifically this upside down ship, but then the meat and potatoes of this level, the duel. To say this duel looks way harder than what it actually is would be an understatement, though we will come back to this. After the duel, we have 66%. Unironically, the hardest part of the level. I bet none of you guys even noticed it. The transition here is so jank that lighting up the mini chip is radically inconsistent. It does kinda get consistent with practice, but it does not feel that way. The rest of G-Boy's part is like 6-star difficulty, but this one part is so unintentionally hard that it's so frustrating. After that, the wave is free, the memory ball's a little tricky, but you get there. And then there's the last 20%. This part reminded me I have a gag reflex with how easy it is to choke. The orb timings are super tricky on 3x speed, and the part with the 4 portals was rough. You move onto a quick upside down ship after this, where you have to trust your muscle memory and long holds, and yeah, that's it. My progress with this level felt slow, because every time I got consistent at one part, another part would become inconsistent. If you're unfamiliar with practicing a GD level, the meta is to practice the level backwards. That way you'll become real familiar with the ending. This means when practicing, you'll always have a chance to beat the level from various different starting spots. And this also helps to practice the ending parts while you're nervous, meaning hypothetically, you're less likely to die there if you get a run going from 0. After not long, I was able to do 66 to 100. Then with a little more practice, I could get to 100% from the duel part. Though playing from further back, such as the ship at 30%, I was struggling to get past the duel ball, the part I never struggle on, and also the 66 transition, which, well, I do struggle on. When I did manage to get past, I'd always die somewhere in this ball or the ending cube. Though when I practiced these parts by themselves, I really failed it. I got enough runs from here to the ending, and more good runs like the duel to 100, that I started to feel confident playing from 0, though based off vibes, I knew there was like a 50-50 shot I would die somewhere at the end. Progress from 0 was quick. I had like a 25% clear rate of the first hard wave, and I'd get there most attempts, so I quickly got my first drop. I can't remember much, and unfortunately I haven't actually got any notes or footage from this level, so I'm going based off memory. It took a small grind to get consistent to the drop, but nothing flourished past the drop for a long time. This was thanks to this damn duel. When covering the level earlier, I mentioned that this duel looks a lot harder than what it is, and while that is very much still true, I couldn't for the life of me get past it. Continuously dying here was so frustrating, because when I'd go to practice it, it was free. This became such a mind block that I just had to break it. Not a physical challenge, but a mental one. Thankfully, I managed to break through, getting a new best of 66. After that, I managed to get 73, dying in the memory ball, and then before I knew it, Supersonic would go down, and that happened way quicker than I thought. Beating Supersonic was fun, but kind of frustrating too. Luckily, I'd managed to get away with beating it with no deaths at the ending, which is arguably one of the hardest parts of the level. Okay, time for why you're really here. What extreme should I go for? Supersonic was an insane demon, a step down from extreme, so beating that, and also I got 77% on Ado, another insane demon, I felt ready. First and foremost, I need to address what an extreme demon actually is. They are the highest difficulty in the game, however they also have the largest variance in any difficulty across the game. There's a famous quote in the community that the gap between stereo madness and an extreme demon is smaller than the gap between an easy extreme and the hardest extreme. This is because difficulty in this game is exponential. Here's gameplay of two different extremes. As you can see, the first level is way easier than the second. This isn't to downplay how hard the first level is, rather how insanely difficult the second one is. For a breakdown on this, I recommend this video by M.O.O.N, which very clearly breaks down the differences in difficulties across demons. Alright, there's 4 contenders for my first extreme. Number 1 is a level I originally wasn't going to mention, but you cannot talk about entry level extremes without mentioning it, and that is Aku.
Feel the rush.
Aku is by far the most popular choice, being quite easy, even for an easy extreme. It looks nice, has a great song, and is fun to play, but beating Aku for a first extreme is basic, unoriginal, and only chuds go for this as their first extreme. I'm a free thinker. I wanted an original experience, so what else can we beat? Number 2 is Cataclysm. Cataclysm is iconic, being released back in 2013 during the 1.9 update, verified by the GOAT Riot. When released, it was the hardest level in the game, only to be dethroned by its sequel level Bloodbath. In relation to Aku, Cataclysm's gameplay is more slow and methodical, with a heavier emphasis on mechanical skill rather than knowing where to click. The downside though is that Cata is an old level, meaning some parts, especially transitions, can be awkward and inconsistent, leading to a less fun experience. I really like Cata, and it's a level I want to beat one day. I managed to score a run of 66 to 100, beating the iconic slow straight fly section in the wave, but today is not going to be that day. Contender number 3 is a level I learned about kind of recently, being Sweater Weather. This is the new kid on the block when it comes to first extremes. It was rated in, I believe, late 2024, and it became infamous when pros managed to beat it so quickly with very low attempt counts. This is mainly due to its gameplay and decoration being really straightforward and easy to read. It means that if you have the skill, learning it shouldn't take long. Like always, after completing a practice run, I started doing runs from the end of the level. I started with 88 to 100 as the ship timings at 88 were really tricky. After successfully doing that, I started going for 75 to 100, covering the full ending sequence. Whilst being easy for an extreme, since I'm not used to gameplay at this level and the tightness of the gaps, I felt really claustrophobic learning this. Even a simple jump like this can be really easy to die to. The notable difficulties of this section was this jump and hitting the orbs correctly, especially this pink dash orb, where you have to hit it right in the center. I had to practice 88 to 100 more too, so I could get consistent, but eventually I completed the run and actually got pretty good at it. The next day I started going for further back. I had to learn the 70 ship part, which is really challenging, most notably the transition when flipping gravity. After that, I learned the ball part at 63, similar to the last cube. The challenge came from timing the orbs correctly. Surprisingly, I managed to get this. And these run. I was happy with this and started learning the start of the drop. The big struggle here was the spider, where you had to click really fast and precisely. And also this upside down slow straight fly section was a little awkward. Surprisingly, even though it looks really difficult, I didn't struggle much at this ship part, as if you click lightly to the music, it just goes. I ended the day with a 48 to 72 run. I learned some parts further back, like the ship and the wave, which are really challenging and something I wasn't able to get consistent with straight away. Over the next few days, I continued trying to get dropped to 100. I got plenty of good runs, including this tragic 95% death, but I managed to pull through. Unfortunately, it's not recorded. I had to practice the pre-drop now. The start's pretty tricky at first, but it gets consistent, and I got 27. I practiced a lot from the ship and wave trying to get to the end, and after about 6,000 attempts or so, I temporarily dropped the level. Why? Well, I was getting a little bored at the lack of progress. Sweater Weather is a very simple and chill level, but because of that, there isn't really much hype. Something they shouldn't lack for this kind of achievement. Normally I would put my head down and focus up, but something was lurking at me. There was still something else I could try, something I probably should do. And before long, a new project was looming over the horizon. Presenting contender number 4. No context, this move makes absolutely no sense. Why would I drop a level I'm making substantial progress on for a completely new beast? Mind you, a more difficult beast. According to this list, which tracks all the rated extreme demons, this is actually the hardest of all 4 of the contenders by a fair margin. I did it because I could do whatever the I want, but for real, out of all the options, this is the level I actually have the most experience with. Back when I played on my phone, I used to practice the drop of this level as I found it really fun. I had no expectations of really beating it, I just liked playing it. I remember learning the ball part here and feeling like a beat. As mentioned before, I actually dedicated like 12,000 attempts learning this level. No small task at all. I couldn't tell you for sure what runs I'd completed, but I knew I had done like 40 to 60 and 66 to 93. Completed a practice run and it felt right and it was really fun. So I started practicing it again. I was playing this around the same time as Sweater Weather and ultimately I dropped that level because I was having way more fun with this. Like we did for Supersonic, we're going to go through the level. First, if you didn't catch it based on the name, this is actually part of the same series as Supersonic. First there was Supersonic, which is the easiest. Then there was Ultrasonic, a difficult insane demon with an infamous ending. Next is Hypersonic, which is this level. And finally there's Subsonic. It was a former top 10 level in its time with extremely difficult and fast gameplay. There's also Panasonic, which is sort of part of the series, but it's a grey area. We start with Ludicrous cube. Just FYI, this is a mega collab, so the parts are named after their creator. This part's real fun, but I'm grateful it's at the start so I can die to it freely and however many times I want. Next is Serpunja's dual cube, which is kind of tricky to get down, but it becomes super consistent. It's important to hold and release at specific times, so only one of the cubes jump while the other doesn't. These dash orbs too are actually the hardest part for me, which I think is ridiculous. The first mini drop is really fun. It's a little all over the place and a bit learny with fast clicking sections. There's this one click in the duel that was really tricky to learn, as you need to jump while the top cube is falling so it doesn't jump, and this cube and robot section is actually quite hard even though it doesn't look it. Next is Rustin, a slow part which is quite easy. Doesn't mean I didn't die here. My record on phone from 0 was 33% and it dies here. It is significantly easier than the rest of the level. Nazgub's spider caused me to get arachnophobia. The timings are kind of precise and there's so many instances where you can hit the edge of a pillar or just quickly mistime something and you just die. It's pretty consistent, but you can never guarantee passing this part. Now the drop. This asymmetric duel is what I practiced a lot of back in the day. The click pattern is quite simple. Click twice, click twice, click twice, hold. Look at the bottom cube and the ship the whole time. I used to watch the wave at the top and then swap, but I became way more consistent when I just started looking exclusively at the bottom. For the spider, I moved the position of my hands to keep up with the high clicks per second. Next is this UFO, which looks super free, but it can be jank. Next up is Vibrant's iconic memory ball section. I will not talk about the specifics because we will be here all day, but you feel like a beast when you can do this. It's pretty consistent, but the pink orb at 51 and this blue orb here specifically can be kind of tricky, but otherwise it's good. Next up is another asymmetrical duel. This one is kind of tricky to learn as it's hard to comprehend what's going on. All y'all need to know is this orb jump needs to be just right, and this robot and spider click hold click here is quite specific, and if I die here it's probably because of that. This wave isn't too bad here, and these orbs are just so satisfying to get down. Hands part here from 60 to 70% is probably my favorite part of the whole level, especially going into Evasian's part next. The transition is so smooth, and likewise this whole part is so satisfying and on sync with the music. This part is noticeably easier, but the ship and the robot jumps can be choked. This part is likely the easiest part of the level, even easier than Rustin's before. Half of it is auto, and the UFO here is not nearly as hard as it looks, and it's very consistent. The UFO and decode that it probably took inspiration from is harder than this, and that's an easy demon. The final part of the level is Chiron, and my god, it has the biggest choke point. This wave is so tight, specifically here at 93, and is kind of the reason why I never took this level seriously before, as it's just so jarringly inconsistent to get past it. After this click, the rest is super free, but man, the damage has been done. I wasn't playing too seriously and was practicing the parts of the level for fun to see how well I did, and actually progressed pretty quick. Already knowing how to play most of the level was a huge advantage. I quickly went for my favorite run, which was 60 to 100, and actually managed to get it. So I practiced some parts of the drop, and especially the first mini drop part to build some consistency. Feeling good, I went from 0 and quickly pulled this off. This beat my previous record and showed I was actually capable of beating this. Shortly afterwards, I got these. Yeah, whatever. Ah, that would have been a nice second drop attempt. I practice the spider part, and I do it like 3 times in a row. And then out of seemingly nowhere, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, I was freaking out. Holy shit. For real, I've never been so nervous before playing an attempt. This was my first extreme, a huge deal, and I'd fluked most of the drop, which is most of the hard sections. Due to my nerves though, my hands started shaking, my vision actually got a bit blurry, and I died on seemingly nothing. I got another drop attempt in this session, but I was still reeling and decided to call it a day. This could actually happen. The next session started with me trying to get a drop to 100 run, but with no luck. I was able to get a few runs from 60 to Terran's bar at the end, but I couldn't consistently get past it. I decided I was going to go from 0 with a 50-50 chance of dying to the end, kind of like what I did for Supersonic. My mindset was that if I got to the drop, I would be so locked in that I would be fine. Very quickly, we're going to see how that goes. Oh, what? Sound like a crazy person. Oh my god. Dude, my vision was getting blurry. How did I even die there? I like clicked in the portals. Was I too high? This run was mad to get so quickly. 81% was kind of crazy to get to. I unfortunately died to a bit of a bug. I died here in practice before because while it's supposed to be an auto, if you enter the transition here too high, you won't be able to hit the blue portal, keeping your gravity flipped, resulting in a death. I got plenty more attempts to test my theory, like 61%. Oh, what? And 44%. Too early. I was gonna have to fight for it. Aww. Ah, what? The 67? The 67 death, I got rid of the hard fire.
Okay.
Oh. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Really? But my opportunity presented itself, and I was going to see how well I could play. Oh, that could be not. I'm so fine with that death. Oh my god, that's the last place you can die, really. Realistically, the last click of the level. My nerves were bad before, but this is something I was completely unfamiliar with. The fact I didn't nosedive at 91% is a miracle to me, but this is still easily the worst death I've ever had on a level. I wasn't even mad, just accepting. Though this death was going to cost me so many hours of playing. Karma started to hit. All those lucky attempts that I got far into the level starting out just weren't happening anymore. I had to keep pushing up that boulder. Oh, what? That all begin. Ah! Did the UFOs clicks too quick? What? I was too late. You can click that too late. Oh, I hate when that happens. Holding a bottle. I need to put it down. Fuck. I'm gonna play Terraria. Feeling demotivated, I spent the next few days working on another level. The goal of this was to help improve my nerves, so I chose another bucket list level I knew I could do, and that was... Now, Forest Temple was only a hard demon, a very deserving hard demon at that. I won't go too in depth for this level, but similar to Cataclysm, it's very slow and methodical, something that would be difficult with a lot of nerves. Learning and practicing this level didn't take that long. The level was quite first half heavy.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Becoming relatively easy at around this UFO section here halfway in. Because of this, it's quite easy to get nervous, which is exactly what this level wants, as the ball part here at 80% is quite difficult. In isolation it's consistent, but with nerves it's a whole nother ballgame. Come on! Can't tell you for sure how many times I died here because Geode was down, but it was definitely at least 10 times from the start. One attempt even dying at the cube because in such disbelief of getting there, I forgot how to do it. Oh! This did help though, giving me not only practice playing under pressure, but also giving me a confidence boost and a needed small break from Hypersonic. Oh, finally, Jesus. Thankfully, this was about to show. While warming up and doing a practice run, out of nowhere my hard work had paid off. I didn't even comprehend what a crazy run I was until at the end of the attempt. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I just did drop to 100. Holy fuck. I couldn't pull off the clear this session, eventually getting a 63% death, but this gave me some hope. Something I desperately needed. And sure enough, the next day, I did it again. I just did it again. I did drop to 100 off recording. Yeah, I guess I go from 0. Supersonic was gonna go down. Oh my god, I passed it. Oh! Yes! Oh! Yes, that's my first extreme. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my yes! Oh my gosh. Okay. 55. 415. 6k. 200, 6.2, and then I've got like 11k, 12k on mobile, so it'll be 18k total. Alright, this was an absolute surreal feeling, and something I will be striving for again. My goal for the future at this stage is Bloodbath. Very basic, I know, but it's the most iconic level like ever. So if you did enjoy this, please show some love. Comment down below what your hardest is. Next video will likely be Cataclysm, but who knows. Cheers.